Hi there. Today we're going to look at the Cuisinart 10-inch crepe pan, model 623-24. In order to look at the pan, let's learn how to make some crepes. What I have here is all of the ingredients assembled, and in the Pyrex 8-cup bowl we've got the wet. 4 eggs, plus 2 cups of almond soaked milk, and then we will use 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of water. In the 4-cup Pyrex, we've got the dry. We've got 2 cups of oat flour, and I make my own oat flour in the food processor by just taking quick cooking oats. Put them in there, mash them up, and you end up with a bag full. A heavy pinch of salt, a bunch of shakes of the Italian seasoning, plus some oregano. And we usually like to stay with savories. So you can make a savory crepe, and you can put savory things on the inside, or you could make a savory crepe and put sweet things in the inside. There's a variety of things to do. What we do then is mix everything together, and I'll show you what that looks like. Mix the 4-cup Pyrex mix into the 8-cup. We've ended up with this, and we've added 1/2 cup extra water to make it a little bit thinner. Now, these are the other things that we also need to have as tools. We have the pan, we have a silicone basting brush, and we have a silicone spatula. We're also going to use a little bit of olive oil, and I put in, I'd say about a 50-cent piece worth. Even though it is non-stick, the extra little dollop here of the olive oil is good. And then let's say maybe every 4 or 5 crepes, I'll give it another little dash with this. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at the pan before we start heating it. One of the beautiful things about the pan is that it lies flat. There's no rocking back and forth. This is a long handle. This keeps cool. This part tends to be warm, but if you hold the pan back here, it won't be hot. If you're more comfortable choking up on the pan, then use a pot holder or a cotton tea towel, and that will keep the heat away. But and also let's talk about another thing with this pan. This is a 10-inch pan, but the 10 inches is measured here by the upper top sides. Most people, when they make a crepe or an omelet, want to know what the inside base pan measurement is. And even though this is a 10-inch pan, the base measurement for making crepes and omelets is actually 1.5 inches less. So that would make it 8.5 inches. So the finished product of the crepe will be 8.5 inches. So let's right now turn on the pan. I don't ever turn on the pan with the pan on it, because you could get a sudden spurt of heat and it might age or damage the pan. So what I do is let it sit on the burner for just a bit, enough to make it warm. The pan is getting warm. So what we do is we take a 1/2 cup measure. It's plenty thick even with the addition of water. So this is what we do. I get a 1/2 cup of this, pull up the pan, quickly pour it in, and here I can do single or double fisted pan swirls. This is really important that you do this quickly. If you don't do it quickly, you won't have a round shape. Now some people turn this up on a higher heat. I don't. I prefer to have it on a low heat And when the crepe is ready to be turned, there's an easy indicator that tells you when exactly to do that. You'll see the sides of the crepe raise up slightly from the pan. When this starts to pull back from the sides, I'll flip it. After I flip it, I'll put it on a large plate to cool off. This is the large plate over here. Then I'll put another crepe in, do this, and then this will be cooled off enough to put this into another Pyrex container. This one's great because the size of these crepes almost exactly fit inside of those. Again, you don't want to flip too early because you could have a big mess and the whole thing could fall apart. So you want it to be stable enough when you flip to have the food cooked enough to be able to handle the flip. Let me talk about even heating. Because this pan is well calibrated to balance the handle off on this side, obviously the manufacturer, Cuisinart, oh, here's some more. You can hear it kind of sizzling. The pan doesn't rock. If a pan doesn't rock, it means the food is going to be evenly cooking. There are some crepe pans out there that rock and they have uneven food. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, it's moving. So what I do is carefully pick this up. I don't ever do the flipping over here. I let it slide down the chute a little bit, like this. Fast flip, done. Center it up. And I do not cook the second side for the same length of time that I did the first side. Why? Because it's already partially cooked. You don't need to. Again, we don't like really browned, almost burnt items, but they're not burnt. And you'll see that the pan pulling back of the edges occurs much quicker once the flip side has been made. I'm extremely happy with this pan because it does everything that I want it to. It's not just for crepes. Again, I use it for omelets, I use it for stir fries, and it's one of the best pans I've ever bought. And what I do is I hand wash this pan, never in the dishwasher. Even if a manufacturer says it's dishwasher safe, I don't do that. I do it by hand. You'll keep your pans for many decades. All right, let's see how we're doing. Looking good. So, easily. Okay, we're finished making the crepes. We got them all stashed in here. We kept one out. But notice the pan, how clean it is. I removed it from the warm burner. But look at the pan. After every 4 or so crepes, I just took the silicone basting brush with just a little bit of oil left on the initial swirl, and it looks like this. Very, very good. So I'm going to leave the pan to cool for at least 10 minutes. Usually I let them cool for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. Anyway, this is what the finished product looks like. Now, what do we put in a crepe? Well, I like cinnamon, my husband likes Tabasco, and I love both of these things. You can also put stir fry inside them. You can put scrambled eggs or an omelet, or you can put spiralized vegetables with chicken. You can put fruit. You have a wonderful, wonderful choice of doing anything you want with these things. Anyway, welcome to my house for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack. And I will use my Cuisinart pan, but more importantly, you should get a Cuisinart pan so that you can do this, replicate what I'm doing here at your house. Anyway, bon appetit and happy eating. Thanks for watching.
Wait, you haven't seen the best part yet. Here are some amazing offers and specials available for one time only. You can't afford to miss it.